Greetings to the Gambian people by extension. Greetings to the rest of the continent. To the max another brand new edition of the conversation that comes away on Symbian's VIP magazine, VIP TV here in the West African nation of the Gambia. With me here, Thony Mikel Howard, who is tasked with the responsibility of inspiring and motivating the current generation of young Africans in the actualization of their respective dreams and preaching the message of peace and national unity, as well as revitalizing the Africanization policy that speaks about good governance, social justice, democracy, human rights, and most importantly, the African unity. And for today's edition of the conversation, we are very honored to be featuring Mr. Osman Jassey, who happens to be the president-elect of the University of the Gambia Student Union this 2020. And we're going to be speaking with him on a host of issues surrounding his victory, as well as the allegation of all corruption that was involved in the elections and what is thought about it. Greetings and welcome to this platform for the second time, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm indeed very much happy to join you in this late evening conversation.
How are you and your family wherever you are right now, sir?
I am doing very well, teaching and progressing, and I think it's been a long day, but it's also been a successful and a very good day.
Okay, that's a great one. Those watching from the East African nation of war, Nairobi, Kenya, Lepam, Chida, and the leader Merambeda say to you in the Kiswahili language, I say to you, Jumbo, habari yako, kumfutanyo zangu, nakupenda pia, asante kumansara when you quit to see that it's time for supporting us. There's somebody like a leader Merambeda in the Kigali city, everyone that I say to you. In the Ichikwana language, I say Abagwana Napakuna Moise. To Nigeria, Yoruba speaking region that comprises the Kiti State, Kwara State, Ondo, Lagos. Oyo State will say to Ibao, Nishabao, Lomo, to Jamenta. To Eastern Nigerians that are predominantly able to say one name, the number Ikaraka, Iji, Michiko Abiyama, Amama, Siamasi, Oshimia Tata, Kue, Michiko Kiki, Odoku Akataka. Strengthening all of you wherever you are under the sound of my voice to the northern part of the country that is dominantly Islamic. We say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we say in the Hausa language, Sanu to the Liberian people in Pele that say to you, Kumaniju Kalekal, Liberia, Kalukuli Kukatono. To the Mendes in Freetown, Sierra will say, Kawaya Bielove. On the other hand, I say to you, Kai Gorman, to you. Of course, the Aku speaking people, I say to you, Unakushio to Gambians in the Fula Suzemi, Edema Moja to the Walla was in a depth of Malamuna Fati, Malamusa Fatise Adonabi, to the Mantinga was in the Lana Dunia, for supporting us to French speaking nations of the continent will say to you, Messi, Donizabo, support say to those in Botswana, some like Costa Dino Palaterier. In the Swana language, I say to you, readable hell about LinkedIn Jahaho. To Lele Zaga in South Africa, Peter Smersberg, and Tokozile se Walam Flumayo. In the KwaZulu Natal language, say to you, Sanabana Mzanzi, Geya Nembengelela. This is your conversation here with me, Thony Mikel. Now, Mr. Jassey, talk to us about your recent progress, or should I say, triumph at the voting center at the UTG, where you became victorious as the president-elect. How was it? Where did you get these strategies from to have won that election?
Thank you so much. It's been a very long campaign. You remember that we started the campaign since sometime in March.
Okay.
That was at the time when the elections were supposed to take place. But owing to the emergency of the corona outbreak, university had to close down and the election was postponed for the notice. So when we resumed the university education, we were given only 1 week of campaign. And as part of our campaign strategies, our focal point has always been to tell our policies to the students of the University of the Gambia. To tell students of the University of the Gambia about our competencies, about our experience, and how do we think as a team we can come together to help advance a common agenda for students of the University of the Gambia. An agenda that is going to address their problems, an agenda that is going to ensure that their welfare, their interests, and their rights are protected and they are preserved. And I think our policies were terrible. University students had the conviction that with the nature of the composition of our team, with the type of policies we have, we will be able to steer the affairs of the students. And that was why they voted for me and the members of my team, and we achieved a landslide victory. 100% win. We won all the positions that we contested.
Thus, it shows that was a landslide victory from all indications.
Yes, it was a landslide victory.
Your Excellency, to what extent are you going to be excellent in the judicialization of your function at the UTG? Tell us how you're going to lead your people.
Well, already we are working on our blueprint.
Mm.
We have ensured that all the ministers are able to put up their policies together, policies that are urgent, policies that are imminent, and that ought to address the current problem that the students of the University of the Gambia are facing. And currently, I am working with the Secretariat. We want to ensure that we put all these policies together in a single document called a blueprint, and we are going to align and rank these policies on the basis of priority and on the basis of relevance. And we want to ensure that before the end of our first 3 months in office, we are able to address problems and execute our policies that we think would be executed within 3 months. So we are going to progressively work systematically on a quarterly basis. That is our policy implementation strategy, and that is the scheme that we are going to follow.
Yeah, that's very beautiful there from our guest, Mr. Usman Jassey, who is a law student at the University of the Gambia, where he is currently the president-elect of the University of the Gambia Student Union. And I come back to you with all of your massive progress so far. It has been hindered with allegation of all corruption with the electoral body, your team. What's your thought about the allegation against you from the opposition side?
Can you come again? The network is breaking.
Yes, I just says you had a massive triumph or success in the elections, but all of your beautiful plans for the school, for the UTG, has been hindered by the opposition having an allegation of corruption or malpractice during the elections. To what extent is this allegation true, sir?
Well, we do not believe in the truth and the content of these allegations. People, my team and the students of the University of the Gambia, you will note that these were allegations that were made by the opponent camp. And during the process of counting, the Electoral Commission also reported that they have realized some malpractice, and those who are responsible for that were penalized and they were dealt with according to law. So it is as a result of those allegations, the team, the opponent camp, that we have insurmountably defeated felt aggrieved, and that they said that they are going to the judicial tribunal. Already they filed a petition at the tribunal, and the tribunal will sit over the matter very shortly. So as far as I am concerned, as the members of my team and students of the University of the Gambia, we do not believe in this allegation. However, the burden lies on the shoulders of those who are alleging that there has been malpractice. Let them go and prove that to the court. So yes, we are very comfortable with our win. The students of the University of the Gambia demonstrated their will in the ballot boxes by conferring on me and the members of my team a landslide victory. So, and if you look at the vote margin that exists between some candidates, in 600 votes, some candidates have a different vote margin of 300, 400, 500 votes. Okay. So if people are alleging that there has been malpractice, we are on them to prove that to the court.
Okay. That's a great one there from my guest here tonight on the conversation, which is meant to speak on social, moral, economic, and political issues affecting our one continent, and then finding some of the best ways forward to ameliorating these challenges, should I say, concern on the African continent. Mr. Jassey, you are a strong young man that supports good governance, social justice, and democracy, not only in the Gambia, but by extension the rest of the continent. Such allegation has the possibility of denting your image to some extent, especially if it proves positive. Would you want to agree with me?
Well, I have no control over what an aggrieved party is going to say, especially an aggrieved team that contested an election and they have lost the election. You will always know that in Africa it has always been that people don't lose election. Anytime they contested election, if they happen to lose the election, they say we were cheated.
It was rigged. They said the election was rigged.
Yes, that's what all oppositions in Africa have always been saying. So in truth, whosoever loses election, there's always the malpractice. So as far as I am concerned, I believe that the election was credible, it was fair. And I also want to believe that if there has been an element of malpractice in the election, the judicial tribunal has all the constitutional mandate to ensure they address that issue in accordance to law. So I have no reservation against that, and I have no control against that. As far as I have contested the election and I believe that I won the election, practice has taken place at the University of the Gambia and you think it's not in accordance with the law, you go to the tribunal. So that does not mean that that has to affect the comfort of the winning team. We are very much comfortable that we won the election and we know that it's a deserved victory, because by looking at the margin, the vote, the difference, it appeals to common sense to understand that it cannot be cheated.
That's great to hear from you. And now, talking about this allegation, what has been a post-election euphoria at the UTG? In other words, what have been the responses of all the electorate or students of the UTG since this entire allegation popped up after the elections?
The students of the UTG are very much comfortable. As of now, I do not hear students of the UTG state. Of course, there has been malpractice. All that I've been hearing students of the University of the Gambia state is that we have demonstrated our will in the ballot boxes and the team that lost the election should just accept the result with good faith and we move ahead. Because since March, we were supposed to have a functional student union, but we did not have it because the current student union that is already in power, their mandate expires, and you will know that according to the constitution, we are supposed to have a new union. So students of the University of the Gambia at this point in time are even eager for us to have a new union that is going to help address some of these, respond to some of the problems that they are facing. So they do not fall for these allegations that are currently going round about within the premises of the school and in the country.
That is very great from you, Mr. Usman Jassey, who happens to be my guest tonight on the conversation here on Symbians, VIP Magazine, VIP TV here in the West African nation of the Gambia. And I always say this, quote about Chino Achebe, he says, a chick, that is a baby chicken that is expected to be developed into a cock, can be known at the very day it hatches from eggs. You started your political sojourn right now at the UTG. Do you have a shot at the big table in the future on the national level?
Hello, can you come again?
I am asking, a chick that will grow into a cock can be known at the very day it hatches from eggs. That is the baby chicken that is expected to be develops into a cock in the future, starts at its infancy level the day it was being given birth to by the mom. I am now asking you, you have contested your student council leadership at the UTG, which you are successful. Does that speak about you aiming at the top seat of this nation in the future? Are you aiming at the presidency in the future sometime?
I cannot give a precise answer to that question, but I can tell you I am not ruling out the possibility of me contesting for any political position in the future in this country. I am not ruling out that possibility, but as of now I cannot confirm whether to having that conviction and that intention of contesting for any
Mr. Jassey, you might be a young man, but you've got a massive support of other young people who respect your opinion, who follow your beautiful arguments about Gambian politics by extension the rest of the continent. It'll be very wonderful if you give us a sense of direction. Do you have a target for the presidency in the future, sir?
I cannot say as of now I have any intention to contest for president of this country one day, but I'm not also ruling out the possibility.
You must be saying in your mind right now that I'm catching you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Quickly, let me take it a little bit on the national level now, outside of UTG. What's your thoughts projecting 2021 with I know I posed this question to you here in Studio Once, but I still want you to highlight on it a bit. What's your thought about Gambia heading into 2021? How do you look at the pre-election euphoria right now? Politically, where does the greatest strength lie right now, as you can visualize?
Right now, what I've seen is that I've seen all political parties busy conducting their rallies and conducting their political activities. And it seems as if 2021 election is going to be a very strategic one. I've seen political parties indirectly appealing to their other political parties so that they will join them to have a coalition. So it's seemingly going to be a repetition of what we have seen in the year 2016. So we are going to see a lot of coalition. Some of the political parties that are currently in existence, so they will not contest the election. Because if they look at the political now, that is how I am projecting the 2021 election.
Okay.
I know there is going to be a coalition of lots of political parties. Not all these political parties that are howling out there are going to contest the election. That I can confirm to you.
Okay, that's beautiful. I ask this question. When you do a survey of the Gambian political landscape, what would you say is missing in the conversation that you think should be inculcated in the political structure of your country?
Come again?
If you do a survey of the Gambian political landscape, what do you think in your mind as a social commentator, the philosopher, so to speak, what do you think is missing in the conversation in Gambian politics that you think should be inculcated by the political system of this country?
Okay. I think lately what has disturbed us as Gambians is our politics of identity. You individuals vote for a particular political party because they believe that ordinarily they are members of that political party and they will vote for their party leader even though they know that the party leader presents no credible policy. Individuals also believe, some individuals believe that a particular head of a particular political party comes from the ethnic group to which I belong and therefore I am going to vote for him even if he presents no credible policy.
Okay.
Other people also believe that we come from the same region, we come from the same geographical area, and it is now our time that we support our own and we support someone who comes from amongst us, and therefore we have to give him the vote, no matter what, whether he presents policies that are credible, that are sellable or not. So it's going to be an approach in an election system that is going to be hinged on politics of identity. That I am not ruling out.
Okay.
This 2021 election is going to be completely different from the elections in the past. Because right now, if you follow the comments made by most of the political parties in the recent past, you could see some of them speaking along identity lines.
Okay.
So that is a mark and demonstration that they would not hesitate to appeal to the ethnic senses and senses of identity to their people so that they may win their vote.
And that is sad for the country. Would you want to agree with me?
Indeed, it is very sad. It's sad for the country, it's sad for the continent.
Okay, that's quite true. We got less time here to talk with you. I want you to speak with the UTG student in the midst of all of this saga of electoral fraud and what have you. You have 15 seconds to send a message to your students, your fellow students at the UTG, especially your party members. 15 seconds.
What I have to tell the students of the UTG is right now, let them exercise restraint, let them exercise calmness and let them be comfortable wherever they are. The new leadership is created and that leadership is going to respond to their problems and is going to address their welfare, their rights and interests in accordance with what is right and what ought to be done. As long as the current the issue, the malpractice that has been alleged is currently undergoing a court process, I would urge students of the University of the Gambia to exercise restraint and await the verdict of the court.
Okay, that's beautiful. I want you to replicate this on a national level to Gambians in spite of their different political ideologies. What do you have to say to Gambian ahead of 2021? I want you to start this in Mandinka, and that is 15 seconds. Talk to Gambians on the national level.
In what?
In Mandinka language.
Nyanta menkela nyanta jibela political party me alonko aning program na me alonko wol benda batata address la political party muda ngata kafe kisodi wala kana kafe fa mo kar na bor tare kilina na bor kilina wala na bor kilina na kafe di mo me alonko wala londo soro ay fa mo soro kam mago kana bangu tambanya.
I want you to also replicate this in Wolof in 10 seconds.
I'm not very much fluent in that.
Yeah, just try. Whatever you can do, try.
Just as I've said before, so it's the same thing. We just want champions to vote on the basis of confidence and on the basis of capability of policy.
Okay. That's beautiful there from Mr. Usman Jassey. It's a nice experience having you here on the conversation for the second time, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great time there. Greetings to all of you once again. I say a huge salute for all of the supporters of the Abby Magazine and TV. It's been a nice experience for Mr. Usman Jassey as he speaks on his victory at the UTG Student Council leadership elections, and then he also spoke on the key national issues that Gambians should vote outside tribal sentiments. And I asked him to speak in Mandinka, which he did successfully. And then we apologized that he's not very excellent in the Wolof language, so he could not do that. But then he meant peace, and we should speak outside, we should vote outside sentiments like a tribalism or whatever you call that. Keep your head up high, the Gambia belongs to all Gambians, like it is quoted in national anthem for the Gambia, our homeland. We strive and work and pray that all may live in unity, freedom, and peace each day, not just sometime or each day. On to them. It's been with me, Thony Mikel out here. Taps to the responsibility of inspiring you young people in actualizing your respective dreams.